night. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y, night. Actually, it's M-O-N, day, night. Just a flash from the past. A weird song in my head. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y, night. Good old roller skating song. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card reading. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some readings. So the way this works... Oh, awesome. Hello, Roulette and Joe. The way this works is the first 6 people to say yes in the comments get a 1-card reading. So, hey, Chelsea. Good to see you. So we've got Joe and Roulette and Chelsea. And Anna, hello Anna, yay. And so when we get 6 people, each one gets a card, and if you come in later or if you're watching this after the fact, you can still choose a number between 1 and 6. It's good to see you, Chelsea. And just listen to that number. And if you're not one of the original 6, which if you're watching right now, it's not a problem because we've only got 4. So we've got 2 spots left. Or if you don't want to bring attention to yourself, whatever, if you don't want to put in for 1, you can still choose a number from 1 to 6 and just listen when I do the reading for that particular card. Even though it may be aimed at someone else, there will be a message for you woven in somehow. So a couple ways to approach it. So everybody gets a card, everyone gets served. And what else? And please share my video far and wide. Some of you have heard I've got kind of a little hiccup in my business. I'm not going out of business. Someone asked me today, oh, so you're going out of business? I'm like, no, I'm not going out of business. Hi, Carly. Did you want a card? We have 2 spots left. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm losing because of dynamics at, okay, good, got you, Carly. The dynamics with the building that my office is in and the store that I work through and everything, they're letting go of the wellness center that I kind of am part of. I'll put it that way. So I'm just losing the physical space, but the good news is that Jennifer, the awesome owner of 4 Sisters Holistic Remedies, said that I can still do readings out of the store. They have this library area with this long table, so that's where I'm going to be situated. I'm going to still keep my same hours, Wednesday through Friday, 11 to 6, and 2nd and 4th Saturdays. But those aren't rules, only guidelines. So that's when I tend to be there. I might be there at other times. I might be there later than that or earlier. Well, I can't be there earlier because that's when the store opens. But that's where you will find me. I will still be available. At the store, I basically can only do readings. So, but everything I do, I can do on Zoom. I can do it online. So healing, soul retrievals, teaching, mentoring, all of that. and readings I can do on Zoom. So I'm not really, I'm just shifting spaces, and it's one of those things. I am going through a really intense shamanic initiation right now, a dismemberment. You're welcome, Roulette. Yeah, it's like I live 15 minutes away from there. And so if you ever really, like if you're ever in town, you don't get here very often or whatever, and you'd really like a reading, text me. Email, well, texting is probably the best at 253-336-0383. And if I am available, I will come meet you within like 15-20 minutes, depending on what I'm doing and what I need to get finished before I go down. But yeah, you know, if you need a reading and you're in town and I'm available, I can do virtually any time. And if we're doing it online on Zoom, we can do literally any time. Well, within limits, within boundaries. I need to set boundaries, so I do need to sleep sometime. So I'm not going out of business, but if you would like to have, if you've ever wanted to come to me in person for a healing, you've got 1 week from today. You can make an appointment with me this coming week, and you can set up a time with through my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. Which reminds me, I need to tweak my scheduling site a little bit to make that possible. But yeah, so I'll be available for the next week in person for healings. And it's not that I'm going to stop doing healings, it's just that she doesn't have the space in the store appropriate to do healing. And so, but that I can do on Zoom. And I have had just as good, if not better, results doing healing with Zoom as I have in person. So distance, especially when it comes to shamanism, distance is a no thing. It's like, it doesn't matter. So I am still here. I am still available. I'm looking for a new space. And like I said, I've been going through a really intense initiation the past few months, if not, it's kind of started in like December, I think, but it's like things right now, it's like almost in my life, there's almost no solid ground. Everything is fluid, and I'm trying to get my bearings, but it's not a bad thing. It's not comfortable, and you know, it would be nice to have some stability sometimes, but I also know, I recognize what's going on, and I realize that for everything that is falling apart and leaving my life, there's something moving in. There's something bigger, better moving in. In fact, those things wouldn't be falling apart or leaving if there weren't already something moving in. So a little bit of snake medicine before we actually get to our actual readings. It's like, you know, the snake, when the snake sheds the skin doesn't, we always talk about it like it's two different things. Oh, they shed the skin and then they get their new skin or whatever. And it's actually the fact that the snake is growing that shreds that old skin. Roulette, anything is possible. I might end up moving to Arkansas with you. But you know, it's not that spontaneously and randomly the snake skin, you know, shreds, and then the snake's got to wait for things to come. It's the growth of the snake the snake literally outgrows its old skin, and so the skin begins to peel and everything. And it's like that with our lives, because we tend to identify ourselves with the world around us, right? By what's happening, the people in our lives, the situations in our lives, the finances, the work, whatever it is. And we tend to identify who we are with what's happening. But that's like the old snake skin. And so for the new one to get breathing space, that old one has to fall apart. But if you think those things are who you are, if those things define you, then it's like, good luck, because your world is going to fall apart, and it's going to be, catastrophic, because if you think that's your life, then you are literally dying. But that's just the story of a past you. It's not really who you are. And so it's that moving inward to who you are inside, and realizing that this is eternal. Who you are, your essence as a spirit, as a soul, as a divine being of light, is eternal, and nothing can take that away. And so it's like, okay, so it's that surrendering in, letting things fall apart. It's not necessarily they're falling apart, it's like they're being recalibrated, rearranged to until you like the outside world reestablishes a coherent image for you to be your template, your bearings for how you relate in the world. So that's where I am. I'm in that, it's like the skin is shredding, and when the snake is shedding its skin, it's blind. Its eyes are part of the skin that it's shedding. So when it's shedding its skin, it is literally blind. It can't see in front of itself. And so it's been kind of a real up and down time for me, and the office is just another part of that. But like I was telling a friend the other day, last week, I'm sitting in my office. I'm just like, I love my office. I love what I've done with it. I love how much it reflects me. I love that I was able to manifest it. And then it was like, okay, but that's not who I am. That's not the peak of who I am or what I'm capable of. So it's like, okay, what's next? If I could manifest this, think about next step up, next level. What can I manifest now? So I've been trying to go with that. And with some things it's easier than others. But anyway, so I am still available. If in doubt, you can check my website, purchasingwillstudios.net, and you can get a hold of me there. You can set up a session with me there. We'll see what the future holds. I feel a lot of excitement. There's like a lot of things bubbling in a good way. And expansion, and it's, you expand and then you contract. And then you expand and then you contract. And it's like the more you can contract, the more you can expand. And the contractions aren't fun. But anyway. So enough about that. Blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to kind of set the record straight, because some people have been asking me, some people thought I was actually going out of business and stuff, and that's not the case at all. So, we have one spot left. If there's anyone that came in during my my verbosity, we have one spot left. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And thank you for joining me. I don't know if I said that yet. This is one of the highlights of my week, and I just absolutely love doing this work. So thank you. Thank you for being it's like, a circuit. My dad was an electrician. a circuit, you need the both, it's got to be a circuit. And if I'm just offering things and there's nobody to receive them, then the circuit doesn't go anywhere. So thank you for being my circuit. Wow, I am just all over the place tonight. All right, my friends, we're going to go with card number 1 for roulette. Okay. You guys, it's not fair to like roulette. I could feel you going boom and 3 cards jumped out. Okay, so card number 1 is 3 cards. I'm going to try to do it briefly because I do like to try. I know people's attention spans aren't always the longest, but so if you chose card number 1, you actually get 3. Those cards are grouse, beaver, and porcupine in reverse. So roulette, the general feel is that things are moving. Grouse is the dance, the spiral dance, the sacred dance of life. And so things are moving. There is a plan. Even if you don't know what it is, there is a plan and it's coming together, right? Beaver is the one who, instead of just seeing trees, they see resources, they see dams and lodges. So there's a bigger picture going on and things are moving, okay? But the thing that is kind of stepping in the way is a lack of innocence. It's like something that has been occurring to me lately in my own life that, like for instance, I was talking to a friend who does these classes online and stuff. And she was helping me out one time and she said, call in your highest, easiest timeline. And I just kind of like, whoa, I didn't remember her ever saying easiest. And people are always calling in their highest possible timeline, the highest possible reality, the highest possible. But intention is everything, right? And so to say highest, it may not be the easiest. It may be kind of hard because you're jumping timelines, you're jumping frequencies, and to go from one, like a lower one to a higher one, just boom, is, you're going to get car sickness. And so adding that element of ease, we keep forgetting about the ease. And like I was talking to another friend over the weekend, and they were talking about fun, right? There's a reason we're doing this work, and it's not just to knuckle down and to, it's about regaining that element of innocence and knowing that you are safe, that you are protected, right? In reverse, it's like Porcupine is on his back with his belly to the sky, ready, for anyone to come along and, but when Porcupine is balanced, it's like he's like this ball of quills that no one can even get close to him. No one can touch him. And so the way I'm reading all of these is trust. How do I put this? Trust your heart, trust your intuition, trust the universe to bring you to where you need to be. You don't have to push. You don't have to work at it, okay? Especially with like Beaver here, it's like, yeah, Beaver puts in a lot of hard work, but it's not work. He's doing what he loves doing, and he is equipped for the job that he does, right? That's why you don't see a grouse knocking down a tree and building a dam. They don't have the equipment. Beaver has the divine gift of the equipment necessary to do the job that he was born to do. Okay? So it's allowing the natural unfolding of things without kind of digging in your heels if things are going too fast. Like, it's like, oh my God, I got to think about that. It's like just going with it. Trusting that the universe will not ask anything of you that is beyond you, okay? It might be that it's a challenge. The universe will constantly challenge you, but that's because the universe knows how great you are. The universe knows what you are capable of, right? And so, you know, rather than, like, I know that, like, everyone talks about the tests of spirit and the spirits are going to test you. And it makes it sound like we're in school and like there's someone over us and we have to, you know, earn our way through. And it's like, it's not that. Yeah, you can look at it as a test, but it's like, it's kind of like I'm picturing a bodybuilder going into the gym. They don't just start with like the 10-pound weights and then that's all they do is the 10-pound weights. Look at me, look at how good I am. I've been doing this for years. If they don't increase the weight, they're never going to grow. They're never going to improve. They're never going to get to their goal of why they started in the first place, right? And so the universe is going to give you incrementally more challenging things, but that's just to help you, you know, improve those muscles. And it's not going to give you any, like the beaver, like beaver's teeth, for instance. They never stop growing. Because they're constantly chewing down trees, right? And so they don't need to stop growing. In fact, if they stop growing, they would keep wearing down and they wouldn't be able to do their thing anymore, right? And so it's like that perfectly synchronistic, harmonious, equipped for the job that they came here to do. And you are no different. You came here with a purpose. You came here to experience certain things, and you have everything you need to do those things. So you can let go and surrender, knowing that whatever happens is what's meant to happen, and that you have, if you don't have it now, then whatever challenge is in front of you is going to help you attain that goal, okay? It's like, you know, it's that curiosity that draws you forward to learn things. It's like you hear something, so you Google it, you research it. And by doing that, you grow. And then, but that brings more questions. And so you go toward that. And it's that growing, the growing teeth of curiosity to keep chomping at new information, at new things, at new ways of doing things, or whatever it is. So, and the universe is not going to give you the visions or the desires, the passions for things, and not give you the resources with which to fulfill them. So, and as Abraham Hicks said, the path of ease, the path of least resistance is the path of joy. We always think, oh yeah, I'm talented, I got this thing, but that's over here. I need to do these things that are really hard. So we kind of hobble ourselves by trying to do the things that we're not equipped for. And we discount these other things with, well, I'm already good at that. That's just me. Joe giving you a hard time to that. But it's like you were given certain talents, you were given certain passion, you were given certain desires for a reason, because that is the map, that is your compass for the direction to go in. And as things are coming up in your life, You know, the learning might be in trusting your heart or your gut as to like which direction to go or whatever, but you're always moving forward, and you can trust the universe will, like Abraham Hicks said too, the universe will always guide you to your highest fulfillment. The universe will never guide you to protect yourself or get away from something. It will always move you toward something. So allow yourself to shine, allow yourself to play, allow yourself, even if I know you guys are going to be doing a big move, etc., but find the little magic in the details of what's happening. Watch things unfold miraculously. Okay? Like Tess at Stargazer used to say, she would wake up every morning and she would say, okay, universe, I'm ready for my 3 happy surprises. And that would be her intention through the day. So she would go through her day looking for happy surprises. And she would find them. And usually there was more than 3. But it's like, it's what we set our radar for. It's what we, set our intentions that we get back those things. So look for the magic, look for the miracles, look for the synchronicities, and look for the ways that this is flowing. Okay? Whew, all right. I need a little drink after that. All right, I might have been a little dehydrated. All right, so if anybody else has come in, we have 1 spot left that no one has claimed yet. And so if you would like a 1-card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And that spot is yours. All right, card number 2 is for Joe. Oh, Cheryl, okay. All right, we have our 6. And so now if there's anyone that's come in that isn't one of the original 6, it's okay. All you need to do if you want some guidance is choose a number between 1 and 6. We just did 1. We're probably going to be here really long tonight because I'm extra verbose tonight. But listen to choose a number 1 through 6, and especially listen to that card. But also listen to, if you're watching this, listen to the guidance of all the cards, and because if it's in your perception, there's something there for you. Okay, and so every card is basically for you. There might be one that is more blatant or pointed or clear, but you might be able to find something in every card that speaks to you. And if it speaks to you, it was meant for you. Okay. All right. Card number 2 for Joe. All right, Joe. You got Bear in reverse. Bear is about introspection. And what I'm picking up is that, some of the people watching I know better than others. Some people are friends, etc. And so I know sometimes what people are kind of going through. And so Joe and Roulette, I know you're having to pick up your lives and move them somewhere else. So there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of change right now. A lot of outward activity, right? But it's important. Like I say this all the time. Alignment is more important than action. In fact, if you're acting, if you're just doing, acting, you're not really changing anything. All you're really doing is rearranging boxes. And so in order to create true change, the word, there's a book I had a while back. I don't think I have it anymore, but it was The Re-Enchantment of Everyday Life. And I was having a talk with someone not too long ago, and they were saying how it's not working harder or trying to change other people or whatever that we're trying to do. It's like, that's not what's missing. What's missing is the magic. What's missing is the enchantment in our daily lives. And we keep thinking, well, if I arrange these few boxes, then I'll be able to feel the enchantment. Then I'll be able to feel the miracles and the magic of life. But if you're doing that, you will never find it because it's not out there. And so what I'm recommending to you, my friend, is to really make sure that you are taking the time every day to meditate or whatever form, like some spiritual practice every day, to meditate, to go inward. You know, it could be journaling, it could be just sitting and meditating, doing mantras or Tai Chi or yoga, whatever it is that brings you inside. Because without that, you're just an empty shell. And as you exert more and more energy and effort and work to try to make things happen out there, you're just going to be weaker and weaker and weaker. I shouldn't say weaker, I mean more depleted and more depleted and more depleted. I mentioned before, for those who watch regularly, this video I saw recently with the Buddhist monk, and I can't stop talking about this video. So if you've heard this before, please have patience with me. But this Buddhist monk had a pitcher of water, and he had a glass, and he said, "This is the way that we think it's supposed to work." And he took the glass, he poured water, and it filled up the glass, and then he dumped the glass out. And he said that, you know, we think that we have to fill up our cup and then we have to empty it for someone else. And that emptying it into someone else's cup is what helps them. He said that's not the way it works. He took the glass, he took the pitcher, and he started filling up the glass. And the glass filled up, and he just kept pouring. And the water started running over, right? And it's like all that water running over from the full glass is what helps fill other people's glasses. So you never empty yourself out. It's like you have to keep filling yourself and filling yourself and filling yourself. So make sure that, you know, at least once, if not twice a day, you're doing something inward. You're sitting and aligning with spirit, calling in your highest self, your true self, calling in your divine light, whatever it is. Picture yourself, picture your heart as a star, and just watch it just radiate, envelop your whole body and radiate outward, right? And then do the activities. And you will find there's this exercise I love doing with students. I learned it from Martha Beck, and I can't really do it on my own, but if you have someone with you, so Joe, actually this would be perfect. Joe and Roulette, since you're right there together. Okay, let me think of how. All right, so Roulette if you put your hands out like this, just right in front of you, not too far away, not too far apart, and then Jo, if you can sit opposite her and put your hands on the outside of her hands, okay? And if there's anyone watching that's alone right now, if you want to like find a friend eventually and replay this and do this, it's one of those lessons that is experiential. It doesn't, I mean, I can tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you what, but it's not something that you learn up here. It's something you experience. So when you guys are like that, I'm going to count to 3, and roulette, the hands on the inside are going to try to push outward, okay? So if your hands are on the inside, you try to push outward. If your hands are on the outside, you're going to try to push inward, okay? And so I don't know if this is going to work. This might just be crazy to try this right now. But if you're watching this and you don't have anyone with you, it'd be fun to get someone afterwards and come back and rewatch and do this. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to count to 3. And the person with their hands on the inside is going to try to push outward. Person with the hands on the outside are going to try to push inward, to try to push their hands together, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Did you feel kind of this wrestling back and forth? The hands never quite close, but it's like this kind of tug of war back and forth between the inside hands and the outside hands. Now, Jo and Roulette, since I'm aiming this at you, I want you to set it up the same way. And if you're not Jo or Roulette, whoever's hands are on the outside, I might be just wasting people's time because I don't know if this is going to work on a video where there's no one else here. But so Jo or the person with their hands on the outside, I want you to take a moment right now, close your eyes, and think of something that you love. Something that just makes your heart full, okay? That just brings you so much joy. You're so grateful for it. It could be a person, it could be a pet, it could be a location, anything. But just think of something right now that just fills your heart with love and joy, okay? Just the person on the outside. Person with the hands on the inside, you just do normal, like you just did. Okay, and so I'm going to count to 3 again, and I want you to do the same thing. Person, their hands on the inside, try to push outward. Person with their hands on the outside, try to push the hands together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Did you do that? When I learned this, I went to see Martha Beck was doing a book signing in Seattle, and she had the audience do that. And it was amazing. It's like the first time everyone's like, oh, okay, I don't know what the point is. And then she had us do the second part of it. Jo is cheating. No, he's not. He's not, Roulette. It was amazing the second time when the people with their hands on the outside thought of something they love. And then she counted, and it was just like, boom, 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 boom. You could hear the clapping all over the room, because you're stronger when you're coming from the heart, when you're loving something, when you're positive, when you're doing things, when you're moving towards something instead of away from something. When you're holding love in your heart, when you're doing things for the purpose of love, you are physically stronger. So let me know, people, like, if you're watching this, if you're not Joe and Roulette and you try this later on, please, please, please let me know. I love hearing about people's experiences. So Roulette, no, Joe was not cheating. That actually was him. That was the power of love. And so now I'm not going to go through the reverse, but when you're on your own, you guys might try to, do the opposite so that Roulette can really tell that Joe, you weren't cheating. When she experiences that, then she'll know, like, oh. So, okay. So all that to say, Joe, so with Bear in reverse, it's like it's time to go inward. It's time to find whatever it is that lights you up. It's time for introspection, to go into the cave, into the womb, where you are safe, where you are loved, where you can feel the connection, the love of the universe around you. And then when you act from that place, you are more powerful. You create real change. You're able to do things that you can't if you're coming from the place of, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Oh my God, this is so hard, right? If you're coming from that place of heart, of love, of purpose, you are physically stronger and you have more energy. You can last longer, and it's not as big of a deal to do what you need to do. And that's when you're in that alignment, things tend to flow easier as well. Okay? So just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Fill your cup and don't empty it for anybody. Just let it overflow. Just keep filling it and filling it. And allow others to catch the overflow. Okay? So that was fun. I don't know if that was a waste of people's time or if that actually worked, if people could follow along. But it's one of my favorite things to do in my classes, to prove experientially to people that you are stronger when you come from love. You are physically, and it's experiential. It's like once you have that experience, it's like, oh my God, it's real, right? It's not just theoretical. Awesome. Okay. As long as you guys got it, I just got chills. As long as it was valuable for you, that makes it worthwhile, even if no one else got it. So, thank you for playing along. All right, card number 3 is for Chelsea. God dang, these cards. Okay. All right, Chelsea, card number 3. My beautiful assistant, Kira. All right. All right, so card number 3, Chelsea. All right, Chelsea, you got card number 3 is Dragonfly in reverse. Missy, down in front. Kit Kat, I just put some food for you over on your place. You got food over there. So Chelsea, you got Dragonfly in reverse. And I don't know if you've ever heard my Dragonfly story. So I'll tell it really quick. I'll do like an well, I can't really abbreviate anything, but so once upon a time, there was this great and mighty dragon. And he was all powerful. He was so magical. And he loved to brag about his prowess. He loved to brag about how magical and powerful and talk about his adventures and stuff. And one day, Coyote decided that someone needed to take him down a notch. And Coyote, knowing of no one better equipped to do so, took on the job himself. So he goes up to this great mighty dragon and he says, I bet you're not powerful enough to make yourself that big. The dragon laughed in his face and turned himself into a dragonfly. When he became a dragonfly, he got caught in his own illusion. And he started to believe he was just that fragile little body. He still had access to all the power and all the magic, but his beliefs got in the way and he thought he was this fragile little body. So when Dragonfly comes up in reverse, to me, the first thing that comes to my mind is that that it's time to look at what thoughts and beliefs are maybe blocking you or preventing all of that spiritual power and inspiration and wisdom to come through. It's kind of like because basically, okay, this is where we're going with this. It's like Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say about how we are spirits having the human experience, not humans having a spiritual experience. Yes, you are human right now, but you are spirit having a human experience. You're not, human is not, how do I put that into words? Is not your original state. And it is a more limited version from spirit, but you still, even when you're human, you have access to all that power and all that wisdom that you had as spirit. And so it's a matter of opening that crown, right? And letting go of any of the beliefs, any of the thought patterns that say you can't, or I'm not good enough, or how could I possibly think I could do that? Oh, that's way above me. That's beyond me. There is nothing beyond you. You can literally do anything that you can think of, okay? And the beauty of Dragonfly is that because you are a spirit having a human experience, you appear human, right? And so you have this human facade, the human illusion, that makes it easier for others to relate to you. Others who do believe they are only human, that they're only this fragile human body, right? And so by bringing that fullness into the physical, right? That's the whole point of as light workers, as healers and stuff. We talk about anchoring the light, right? We're here to expand so we can hold more light and more light and more light. And so, but you still appear human. To people who aren't aware of it, you're the same. They might feel subtle differences, but they won't be able to put their finger on it. But it's like to continue to become that hollow bone, to be able to allow more light, more spirit to flow through you, and using the human facade, what you say, it can be, people can relate to you, so they're more receptive to what you have to say, to what you have to teach them, to what experiences you can introduce them to. Because you're not this great mighty dragon that if you showed yourself in all your glory, everyone would run for the hills because they'd be freaked out and scared, right? And that reminds me of another thing. I was doing a soul retrieval for a guy, and one of the power animals that came in to help was a dragon. And so I'm talking to this dragon, getting what's the message you have? How are you going to help heal this man? And one of the things he said was that everyone thinks that dragons think that they are better than everyone. Like I just said, it's like this great dragon who boasts about his deeds and he's really arrogant, thinks he's above everyone. The thing is, this dragon told me that that's not where they come from. That's not their thought pattern. They know their worth. And they will talk about their worth. But they also see the worth in everyone else. It's not that they're better than anyone. It's just that no one else knows their own worth. Their worth is equal to the dragon's, but they think they're down here. And so they look up and see this dragon, and it's like, oh my God, they're so powerful and arrogant and so much better. They think they're so much better. And it's like, it's not that they think they're better. They know themselves so well. They are sovereign in themselves. And they know their worth. And that is where you come in as like a teacher, as a healer. You raise the frequency just by being that higher frequency in human form. You can affect change and healing just by your presence. Not even in the words you use, just by your presence. You will raise the frequency of anyone in front of you. It's like that namaste, the divine in me greets the divine in you. And it's that perception of your own divinity that, in other people, if you're walking around and you know yourself, and think about, for all the people that we admire, all the people we look up to, all our heroes, we think, oh my God, they're so awesome, they're so inspiring, and I want to be just like them. There's probably an equal amount of people going, oh my God, they're so full of themselves. Oh my God, they're so arrogant. I can't stand them. They think they're better than everyone else. And it's that lack of perception. And so don't lower your own frequency to make other people comfortable with your higher frequency. Again, like I said with Joe, fill your cup and just keep filling it. If they're not ready, if they don't have the means to receive that overflow, that's their lesson. But you just planted seeds by holding that vibration and inviting them, rather than going down and trying to lift them up, inviting them up, extending a hand like you would like someone who is drowning, right? You stand on solid ground and you reach for them, or you throw something to them and pull them back out. You don't jump in with them, because then most likely you'll end up drowning too. So just hold that high vibration. Remember the sovereignty of the dragon within you. Even though you appear to be human, that is not the truth of your being. Okay? Does that all make sense? Don't let the voices in your head dictate who you are or how good you are. So most of those voices are from authority figures, from childhood, etc., who also thought they were just fragile little bodies and they didn't know any better. Allow your heart to open and to find that excitement to say, oh, what can I do now? Right? So I hope that is helpful, Chelsea. All right, on card number 4. Oh, I'm so glad. You are so welcome, Chelsea. Thank you for your feedback. And everyone that does give me feedback, thank you for your feedback. Because when I start talking, I just start talking and things are coming through. And I never really know for sure if it hits home or not. So it really, that's how we complete that circuit, right? I put it out and you give it back. And we support each other. We walk each other home. So thank you for the feedback. And I'm so glad that made sense to you. All right, card number 4 for Anna. All right. Anna, you got grouse in reverse. As I mentioned earlier with roulette, grouse is about the spiral dance, the sacred dance of life. Missy, that's my paper. Here. I love you. Thank you, Roulette. Thank you. Roulette says, don't ever doubt your own worth. We will follow you forever. Thank you. It's kind of ironic sometimes, because sometimes I do doubt my worth. And in fact, went through a lot of that over the weekend. So thank you for saying that. And I don't know what else to say about that. I was going to say something, but then it kind of went pew. So thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope my intention and my hope through doing this work is to help to remind you of your worth. I believe in you, all of you. All right, so Anna, grouse in reverse is that spiral dance. And it's like the spiral is one of the oldest sacred symbols we have, like cross-culturally. And it's like everything exists in a spiral. From the biggest super galaxies and, stars and storms and pine cones and seashells and flowers and DNA. It's the spiral that connects us to everything. It's that whole idea of fractals, if you've ever heard that term. It's like sacred geometry. It's those patterns that exist in the macrocosm and the microcosm. Kind of how with the new telescopes, if you look at pictures of the stars, it's not just the stars, but you see these threads of energy going between the stars. So it looks literally like a web. And then if you look at brain maps and neurons and the neural pathways, it looks just like the stars. And then if you look at the mycelium, is that the right word? Like the networks of the fungus and plant matter under the ground, it looks exactly like both of those. And so it's like that same pattern. And so that spiral is how we connect to all things. So in reverse, it might indicate a feeling of disconnection. And a lack, it might be like a lack of movement, right? Because the spiral is dynamic. The point of the spiral is that it moves, right? Even when you look at a spiral, you don't just look at the spiral like a circle. You look at a circle and it's static. It's a form, it's a shape. But the spiral, you look at the spiral and your eyes start to do things. It's like it's not a static image. And so in reverse, grouse can be a bit of static, like stagnancy, maybe a little bit of disconnection, dissociation. And it's not necessarily like, connection to the bigger world, but kind of along the lines I was talking to Joe about that alignment, that attunement with your inner self. It might be that feeling a little distracted or disconnected from your own energy, getting lost in the energy of the outside world, and losing your bearings, losing your center. And instead of this beautiful spiral, there might be kind of a tug of war back and forth about, you know, I'm losing my way. Oh, there it is. Oh, nope, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Like this back and forth. Am I doing this right? Okay, there it is. I'm doing it right. Nope, wait, I don't think so anymore. And it's kind of like this more of a chaos cacophony rather than a dance. Kind of losing balance, losing sight of the important things. The good news is it's a really easy fix. And I've said it earlier, but it's basically using joy as your compass. And again, instead of, oh, this is going on, I need to get away from this chaos, you can't, trying to get away from chaos, you just get more entangled in it because there's nothing in chaos to push off of, to go anywhere else. You try to push it and you're pulled into it. And so instead of trying to push away from it or get out of it, you need to go toward joy. What are your own personal constellations? What's your personal North Star? Those things that light up your sky, that bring joy to your heart, just like with that exercise with Joe and Roulette. What is it that brings joy to your heart? And follow that. We all get kind of lost and bogged down from time to time, and we kind of feel like we've lost our way. The secret is that you're exactly where you need to be. Whatever, we think we still tend to go into that duality, right? Oh, I feel good, I'm doing it right. Oh, I feel bad, I'm doing it wrong. It's like, it's not the spiral, right? Like the wheel of the year, there's summer and there's winter, and there's summer and there's winter. And it's like, just because things aren't working out doesn't mean you're off the path. It just means there's more of a need for attunement, for alignment at those times, so that you can see the perspective to realize, oh, this is my life recalibrating, changing around, and so I just need to breathe, go into the cave, breathe, and allow the outside world to take care of itself, and then I will come back out. I will follow my joy, I will follow my North Star to go in the direction of my highest fulfillment. Does that make sense? It can be kind of, instead of the spiral, right? The spiral is like the circle of life, right? We think about the circle of life, but that circle, as when you're looking at the circle, you're not bringing time into the equation. The circle looks like it's just going around and around and around and around, right? But when you bring that time in, it's like every step in time going around that circle creates the spiral. And so know that even if it feels like you're stagnating, even if it feels like you're not moving, you actually are. There may be more moving on the inside than the outside. And when I say that, I mean like below consciousness, like on an energetic level, things might be shifting and changing, which actually makes the surface level even more uncomfortable because you can feel changes, but you can't put your finger on what exactly is happening. So do whatever brings you joy, even if it's just a little bit. Do a little bit every day. Like do something creative, do something expansive, even if it's just a little bit. For a while, I was like, there's this page, and it's on YouTube, but there's a Facebook page as well. It's called Eons, I think, EONS. And it's like a PBS thing. And they have like 5 or 10 minute videos. And a lot of them are about like prehistoric, like dinosaurs and different things like that. And I want to get back to this because it was really good when I was utilizing this as a reminder for me. But I decided I was going to learn something new every single day. So every day I would seek out the next, the next post on that page. And I would watch the little 5-minute video and I would learn something new. And so I was moving forward. So it wasn't just a circle. I was expanding forward in time. And if you're feeling all kind of contracted, it's like the best thing to do is to expand. Okay? All right. Card number 5 for Carly. I'm getting the tail swipe. Like someone's not happy. Someone thinks I should feed her even more than I put over in her dish already. I'll get you in a little bit, okay? When we're done with the video, I will feed you even more. Okay? I might even give you some catnip. How's that? All right. What's full of stars, Roulette? The night? The dark? All right, card number 5 for Carly. Whoa. All right. Carly, 2 cards jumped out. I keep trying not to be verbose. I keep trying to kind of abbreviate the readings, but it's hard when multiple cards are popping out. So the cards that came out for you are raccoon and salmon. Manuel. The most obvious thing about raccoon, of course, is the mask, right? And when, kind of along the lines of what I was saying to Chelsea, right? It's like we have these voices in our heads that tell us who we are. And we have different, for every different situation, whether if we're at work, we have our work mask. If we're at home, we have our home mask. If we're in polite company, we have our polite company mask on. If we're with our friends, we have our friends mask on. And, 2001 Space Odyssey. Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you for that. And because, again, like where we started tonight about that, the outside world defining us, it's like we learn to wear these masks, and these masks hide who we are, and so they put a barrier between us and the real world, and so we think we have to become this mask in order to navigate the world, to fit into the world, to survive in the world. But that's exactly what it's a survival mode. And when you're constantly focusing on becoming this mask, then you're empty inside, right? You don't know who you are under the mask. And depending on the situation, if you're wearing the wrong mask, then it's like it's chaos and you like don't know who you are. And heaven forbid you should take the masks off altogether. And so with raccoon medicine, it's a recognition that those are masks, that underneath the mask, you are the same, no matter what mask you wear. You be in polite company, you speak politely. You might wear the mask. Again, like with Chelsea, with Dragonfly, the mask, instead of becoming a barrier and hiding yourself, the mask becomes an interface. The mask is what makes you approachable by this certain group or situation or whatever, because you can use the lingo of that group versus the lingo of the other group, right? I heard one teacher call it jumping metaphors. And it was actually in a class, it was like a death midwifery class. And she was saying, like, especially in like hospice, right? You're helping people prepare to die. And so there's a lot of spiritual stuff that comes up. But it's like, when you know the oneness of all spirituality, when you realize, there is only one source. And every religion, every philosophy has a different name for God, right? But because you know that, it doesn't matter what religion or spirituality the person in front of you is. You can talk to them using their own metaphors, like if it were like the person, your client is Catholic, like I was raised Catholic, you might talk in terms of, setting sacred space or calling in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, or the archangels, right? If they're pagan, if they're earth-based spirituality, you call in earth, air, fire, water. The labels don't matter. The labels are the masks that make it comfortable for people. Like I said with Dragonfly, that makes it makes your contribution, whether it's energy or words or whatever it is, it makes it that other person is able to digest it, to metabolize it, and take it in. So, the fact that these are both upright is a really good. It's like you're getting there. Like you're realizing that, and it's kind of like I love the Three Musketeers, and one of my favorite movies is the Man in the Iron Mask, right? And so the Three Musketeers rescue this man who was imprisoned, and he wears this iron mask. The guy doesn't even know who he is, really. And it's this torture. They rescue him. He's in his 20s. And he's like, why did this happen to me? What was, like, I don't know what I did, if I sinned against man or God or whatever. And then it turns out that he's the twin brother of the king. And at the time they were born, they knew that if they knew of each other, that it would be this power struggle for the crown when their father died. And so they just kind of chose one and took the other one out in the country to live. And then when the remaining one became king and found out about his twin brother, he imprisoned him and put the iron mask so that no one could know who it was, so no one would recognize, oh, you look just like the king. And so he had to wear this mask for 20 some years. Then finally, the three musketeers rescue him, remove the mask, teach him all these things, chivalry and poise and royal, majesticness, etc., to try to switch, since since the king on the throne is corrupt and a bad person. They want to replace him with and their plot goes awry, and the king again imprisons his twin brother and puts the iron mask on him. And when the musketeers rescue him again, they're like, oh, this must have been so hard after finally getting that mask off, having to put it on again. And he was like, no, because now I know who I am. Because of your help, I know who I am. So I wear the mask. The mask doesn't wear me. And so it's kind of like this inner awakening, realizing who you are under all the masks. You can put on any mask you want, and it doesn't matter because it's the same divine spirit underneath whatever mask you're wearing, right? And then Salmon is about going home, returning to your origins, returning to that purity and innocence and authenticity that you had when you were born here. Even like in sometimes when I'm doing soul retrievals for someone, my guides have me do what Sandra Ingerman calls a soul remembrance, in which case I actually journey back and connect to the spirit of my client just before. So they had all the intentions and they knew exactly why they were coming into this life. And it's that remembrance that rather than being a soul part that's fractioned off, I bring back that remembrance to reestablish purpose. And it's like you're coming to that on your own, like a soul remembrance, remembering who you were, remembering why you came here. Even if you can't put it into words or, tell someone, it's like there's this rising sense of resonance, of rightness, of knowing who you are under all the labels. Like again, like Dr. Wayne Dyer, when he was a professor, I heard that in one of his classes, he was in psychology and I think like philosophy and that kind of thing, but he had the class, he assigned the class to write a paragraph about who they were, but they couldn't use any labels. They couldn't say I'm a man or I'm a woman or I am an engineer or I'm a master program student. They couldn't use any labels. And it was apparently I have never done it myself, so I can just imagine how impossible it would be to put into words that feeling of who you are, right? And it's kind of like the experience I did for Joe and Roulette earlier. It's an experiential knowingness of who you are. It's visceral. And you can't necessarily put it into words, but it's like this awakening, this recognition of yourself and your connection to all things. And it's being able to, swim against the current, swim against, the flow of the way everyone else is going, and being able to see this pathway unfolding, going back toward your creation, back toward your wholeness. Like they say, when Salmon shows up, it's not so much of an if you get there, it's destined that you are going to arrive at that place. Whatever that place is for you, whatever home, whatever that origin, that remembering your wholeness, it's your destiny. Okay? All right, card number 6. I might have to start extending these things to like 2 hours. I used to try to do it an hour, which was pretty much impossible. And then I finally expanded it to an hour and a half, which obviously I still have trouble keeping it to that space. But card number 6 for Cheryl. Carly, I hope that made sense. But it's like that was a validation from the universe that you are finding your place. You might not be aware of it. You might not even realize it. But if you feel into it, you feel that you're exactly where you need to be. Meow. What's up, Kit Kat? I will feed you in just a few minutes, okay? Hang in there. I should keep a little bag of catnip up here so that when she comes up I can keep her happy. All right, card number 6 for Cheryl. All right, Cheryl, card number 6 is Mouse. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Mouse has been coming up a lot lately. And it's about the importance to take care of your own little world. Don't worry about the bigger picture. Don't worry about what's going on out of state or on the other side of the planet. Focus on your reality, your sphere of reality. And know that this is kind of like the video I mentioned with the filling that cup full, right? By keeping your cup full, that overflow affects the world around you. And one of the things that people don't understand about manifesting, you know, like law of attraction, etc., we still think we're like this objective reality, and by thinking of something and trying to manifest something, we bring this object into our reality, into that reality. But what actually is happening by setting that intention and connecting to that situation or that object or whatever it is, you're actually jumping timelines. You're raising your frequency. So if you think about the multiverse idea where there's, you know, an infinite number of Earths, you know, layered, you start here, you set those intentions for those, and what you're doing, rather than drawing those down to you on this level, you're actually raising yourself to the level of that Earth where those things are possible. Okay? And so even things like politics and like the election coming up and that kind of thing. It's like you do what you need to do. You do what you're called to do. You know, if that's knocking on doors, making phone calls, or, you know, talking to people, or just staying home and just doing your thing, whatever calls you is the right thing to do. And by taking care of yourself and your own world and your own self-care, the bigger world will reflect your little one. And you will find yourself, so, like for instance, this is just, and I'm not, so this is a tricky little story, but so this past summer I went to a Sundance ceremony. And before I left, it was like a week-long ceremony, no news, no phone, no cell towers, no nothing for a week. And when I left for the Sundance, there was still this ongoing tug of war between the former president and Biden, right? And there was this toss up and things were ugly. It was right after that first debate. And I'm just like, what's going to happen? I was getting freaked out about, the future. And then I went to the Sundance. I spent a week in this spiritual, sacred space praying and dancing and singing and raising my frequency. And the thought occurred to me that I don't have to worry about anyone else. I don't have to worry about what other people are doing or thinking. As long as I raise my vibration to the highest, easiest timeline, my world will be okay because the rest of the world will fall into place. So I get done with the Sundance, I come back to civilization, and it is literally a whole different world. While I was at Sundance, Joe Biden stepped down and Kamala Harris stepped up to be the Democratic, I'm losing my words. What word? But she became the one running for president. I left, I went to Sundance in one world. I came out of Sundance in a whole different world. I mean, there was still the past where, Joe Biden was running and stuff, but it was such a stark contrast. And when that thought occurred to me, that as long as I take care of myself, keep myself to the highest possible, easiest possible timeline, and do my personal work, whatever I'm called to do, the world will follow suit because I will be drawn in to a world that supports my world. I'll be drawn into the world. If my intentions are for the highest good, for love, etc., and I'm doing my work, I'll be instead of drawing that possibility down to me, it's raising me up to a reality where that is possible, where that is the reality. And I'm not saying that, congratulate me, I just saved the world. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying that it's just me, but it's like we each do that. Thanks, Roulette. I was trying to keep away from that. A whole new world. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. So when we worry about the world around us, we worry about what's going on in other places, we actually give our power away and we stoke the fires of that reality. And so with Mouse, it's like, keep doing your thing. Don't worry about the world. It's not even that thing about don't worry what people think of you. What people think of you isn't any of your business. It's bigger than that. And smaller than that. It's like one step in front of the other. You focus like in the 80s when Earth Day really got going, it got power behind it. And that one catchphrase for Earth Day was, think globally, act locally. And it's the same for your spiritual path. You will always be drawn into the right position, the right situations, the right people, and nothing can change that. That's when they talk about you create your own reality, that's what they're talking about. And you really do, and it's not that you're out there like with a chessboard shifting people around and changing people's minds, but by raising your frequency, by changing your vibration, you're rising into different realities. And eventually, we will all meet on that earth where it's like Star Trek. There's no more wars. Everyone is supported in their deepest passions and talents, and it's like that connection, and it's like the harmony of all people, and yet the sacredness of the individual, where there's peace and love. We're going to get there. We can't not get there. It exists. It exists right now. And as we're going through, thanks for that, as we're going, through our spiritual journey, like Carly with the salmon, that we're swimming upriver. We're swimming up the vibration. Other people are staying down here, flowing downhill, because of cynicism or belief patterns, or thinking there's nothing bigger, there's nothing more. All you get is what you see. There's no spiritual thing. But we're the salmon swimming upriver, up the vibration, because that is our origin. That is where we belong, and it exists right now, and we're awakening to it. And as we awaken to it, you can, as you start to improve your spiritual path, I don't know what words I want to use for that, but you start to notice things clicking, not just in your life, but around the world. You start to notice the love. You start to notice the harmony. You start to hear the voices of those who want love and respect grow louder than the ones who hate. And it's like Jesus said in the Bible, right? It's like heaven is within you. It's up to you what world you're in, whether it's a hell or a heaven. So keep things simple. You got this. If it doesn't immediately, it's like the Serenity Prayer. If I can remember it, let me change the things I can, let me accept the things I can't, and, give me the wisdom to know the difference, right? That is it in a nutshell. It's like, if there's something you can do, do it. If things are happening and you're powerless to do anything about it, let it go. And just focus on what you can do. And like Sandra Ingerman always says, it's not what you do, but who you become that changes the world. And you will be amazed at how the world changes the more authentic you get, the more spiritual you get. I'm like really lacking words right now. But it's when you become who you are, like with salmon, returning to that origin, returning to that purity of who you are as a spirit having a human experience, bringing that divinity into this world, onto this plane, into this reality. You raise the vibration of the whole reality, and you jump us all up until we get to Star Trek. And we want to get to Star Trek. That's my template for the perfect world. Not perfect, I shouldn't say that. I don't like that word, but we had someone have the vision of what it would look like and be able to express that vision of what it would look like, what it would feel like. And if someone can envision it, if you can watch it and it makes sense to you, it's not only possible, it already exists. I heard someplace that even science fiction is not actually fiction. It's not just made up. It's remembering. It's memories of other realities, other worlds, and that they're all just as valid as this solid three-dimensional reality that we're in right now. So, Star Trek. Oh, let's do I didn't do any fireworks tonight yet. Do 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 do. Bum ba 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 da ba bum. Bum bum ba dum ba da ba bum 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 bum. All right, my friends. I hope that was helpful, Cheryl. I hope that was helpful for everyone. I'm going to pull one more card for the collective, for the community. One more totem animal to accompany us in this next week. And while I am doing that, just a couple of announcements. Again, please share my video. You can tag people in the comments if that's the easiest way, or share it to your page, whatever. But please help me get my voice out. Please help me get my work recognized by others. Again, that circuit, so that I can help more people and more people can support me. That reciprocity. And if you got something from tonight and you wish to reciprocate, you're so welcome, Roulette. I have my PayPal and my Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments. And anything you wish to donate, I am more than grateful, such deep gratitude for the support you give me financially, as well as energetically, taking the time out of your Monday nights to watch this, especially when I get verbose and go to almost coming up on 2 hours. So please and thank you for that. Coming up, if you don't know, I also have a Wednesday night video at 7 o'clock Pacific time here on my Facebook page, where I do the sacred pipe ceremony. It's a time to hold space for you so that you can do some of that alignment that I was talking about earlier. It's like holding space so you can connect to spirit and send prayers and intentions, etc. And it is one of the most powerful ceremonies I know of, and I'm so happy to be able to share it. So check that out. And this coming Saturday, at 2 o'clock in my office, I am going to be doing an in-person pipe ceremony. So if you've never gotten to experience a pipe ceremony in person, if you've been watching my videos and wondering like is it even better in person? This is your chance. Saturday, it's free. Come in and to my office and we'll do pipe ceremony. It's going to be kind of like intermixed with kind of a ceremony of letting go of my office. I have it till the end of the month, which I think is a week from tonight. And so that's going to be at least the first, like, thanking the spirits of the land and the Fae and the ancestors of the land and all the spirits that came, other people's guides and ancestors that came and were a part of the magic that happened in that little space, to thank them and recognize them and to let go of that energy and everything. So come and join me for that, 2 o'clock. And I will, the event page is actually on Facebook already, so you can check that out. And anything else? When we're done here, I am going to share this video to my Facebook page as usual. And I'm also going to upload it to my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, Perching Wolf Studios. So check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Please like me. That, again, like sharing the video, that helps. It helps change the algorithm or something and makes it more available for other people to find. So it helps, helps everybody. It's a win-win-win-win-win situation. So please subscribe, and there you can watch these videos as many times as you want. And I've got like 5 years worth of these videos, of the ceremonial videos, of songs and stories and all kinds of things. Check that out. And if you need your friendly neighborhood shaman in any capacity, please visit my website at perchingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the services I offer. And you can set up a session with me right from my website. And you can see what else I do. I'm also a cartoonist, and I've got some graphic novels that I've self-published that are available there. I've actually got a page of merchandise. I've got totem animal t-shirts and mugs you can buy. I'm not the best marketer in the world. But check out my website. Those things are all available. And if you want an in-person healing, soul retrieval or power retrieval, or just shamanic Reiki, got 1 week to do it. You can text me or email me or set up. I'm going to make a note to myself, so when we're done here, I can go onto my scheduling page and kind of open it up a little bit. I've got it set for just specific day, like my regular office hours. I want to open it up so that people can make appointments at other times as well. So you've got 1 week, and if not, I am still available at Four Sisters for readings. I am still available for healings and for teaching on Zoom. So thank you again for your support. Let's pull this last card so I can let you go to bed. And before my phone runs, my phone is getting really low. All right. Ha ha! Got Dragonfly. Don't sell yourself short. Don't play small. Know that there is more to you. Down in front. Down in front. There is more to you in the unseen realms than there is in the physical realms. And that you have the power of the universe behind you. The universe supports you and wants your highest and best good for you. Even though you may appear human, you are so much more. So again, don't play small. Let yourself shine. Allow your true colors, right? Like the rainbow glimmering kaleidoscope of Dragonfly's wings. Let your true colors shine and flash, and don't worry about intimidating people. You are not intimidating them. They are intimidated. Be your biggest, best, most glorious self and let others sort it out. Because no matter how they receive it, that is their lesson. And you're just planting seeds that will, at some point, whether this lifetime or another one, will germinate and bloom. So, wow, that was a long night. Thank you for those who've stuck through the whole thing with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you can make it next week. Again, please invite your friends. Please share my video. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And from Kira and me, go shining. Bye.